Hi, my name is Mindy.TV. I am a certified transformational nutrition coach and yoga teacher, and I'm here with the amazing LisaMarie Falcone. She is a fellow certified transformational nutrition coach, and she is super passionate and super smart and educated, and she loves to help others with their skin, specifically acne.
Yes.
So, tell me a little bit more about yourself.
Sure. So I think for my whole life I was really just running away from nutrition and kind of what was right in my face. At a really young age, I developed an eating disorder and went vegetarian, kind of all in the same time, and it was a whirlwind for my family. Mm-hmm. And I never looked at food as nourishment. I always looked at food as the enemy. And I had this hate relationship with it for so long. At the same time, I also developed acne, and I just had a really rough childhood with all of that, with the struggle with my weight, with the acne. I would just cry anytime I had to go to an event. I never felt comfortable in my own skin. And I think that's the worst feeling, not being comfortable with who you are and looking in the mirror and always finding something wrong with yourself. Mm-hmm. And so I ended up getting into fashion, which I think is the furthest thing from nutrition, and really just kind of reinforced that negative self-talk that I had about myself. It was all about what you could have, not who you were, and not who you were as a person. It was more superficial. Mm-hmm. And I think I used that as such a block for what was really going on. And then years ago, I started listening to podcasts and stumbled across Underground Wellness, and it changed my life forever. Yeah, I found Cynthia, founder of ITN, through there, and I just could not get enough of it. And I started shifting the way I thought about food. I started thinking about food as nourishment, and how it didn't have to be it didn't have to just be healthy, like it could taste good too. Mm-hmm. And so I developed this big passion around it, and I started becoming really involved in GMOs and not being able to get enough. I was eat, breathing, and sleeping it. And so I knew that I had to make a decision there, and I knew I had to make a change, and I enrolled in ITN, and I am so happy that I did, and it's just been such an incredible journey.
Yay! That's amazing.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Sounds like quite the journey, and you've been through a lot, starting from, as a child.
Yeah.
And so, trying to adapt and, find your way through all of that, I'm sure it wasn't easy.
Yeah, and I kind of had the same journey in my career as well. So when I first started, it was, I'm going to help people who are on a plant-based diet. And then it evolved into sharing my story and feeling so empowered by the fact that I overcame an eating disorder, and it's a huge success. And going through, I want to help women who have eating disorders, and now where I finally landed and where I feel so comfortable and happy is helping people and women feel so comfortable in their skin and getting over acne, because that was, I think, my biggest struggle and the longest journey that I did have in my adult years, even into my adult years.
I hear you.
Yeah.
It is a struggle.
Such a struggle.
And so many women out there are wanting some information, and there's so many options and products, and so navigating all of that is very complicated. So
it's so complicated, and I feel like there's just so much information. And I was talking to someone the other day, and she's just like, I am on the internet and I don't know what's real and what's not real. And so I want to put that all to rest and just really help women figure out what actually is the cause of their acne and what they really can do about it, and to start to see results fast. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see everything that you have and to talk more about all of that.
Yeah.
I know you've done a lot of videos and a lot of amazing posts, because I've definitely been following you and liking everything.
Yes, I know. I see.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, you're welcome. You always have these cool little products that I've never even heard of. So
I do love my products.
I'm super excited about all that.
Yeah.
And so with your clients, what is your most miraculous client story?
Ooh, that is a good question. I'm going to go with my favorite one.
Yeah. Okay.
And that's my first client.
Mm-hmm.
And when she came to me, she was struggling to lose weight. And at that point, I hadn't really nailed down who I wanted to work with and what I wanted to do in my career. So we were working together, and when she came to me, she had all of these ideas about what weight loss was and what she could eat and what she couldn't eat. And she wasn't even eating a sweet potato because it had too many carbs. Like, she was eating processed foods, packaged bars, and she had heard all this information from the media and from people that she went to the gym with, and all these people were telling her all this information. And when we started working together, she was only reading the in the nutritional label, she was only reading that. She wasn't reading ingredients. And so when we kind of shifted the way she thought about food, it felt so great, because she was just so much happier eating this way, and she was eating so much healthier, and I just felt like I was doing the right thing, and I felt so great about the choice that I made, and how so many people out there really need our help, and how there's so much misinformation out there, and just shifting just a few little key mindsets can make such a big difference. I mean, she lost like 5 pounds in our first week working together.
Wow.
Yeah, and that she was just blown away. And she was like, I've been trying to do this for months. And she's like, she wasn't dieting, she wasn't cutting calories, all this stuff. It was just eating real, whole, natural foods. And it just made such a difference. And for me, that was one of my favorite stories ever. And I'm just, so blessed that she felt that way, and that this is what we get to do. We get to teach people all about like eating real food.
It's amazing.
I know.
Yeah,
I know.
It's like, it's so simple, but yet it can be so complex sometimes.
Yeah.
I mean, like, if we look at like all of the education that we did,
right?
I mean, we did a lot. And there's so much information on there. People that haven't had the education that we have, I mean, I understand why they're so confused.
So confused. I mean, you can't open up a magazine without seeing something in there about food. And a lot of the times when I'm reading it, I'm just thinking to myself, like, wow, we're really confused as like a whole country. And so just making small changes in a couple people here and there are making such a big difference. And I'm just really grateful that people are accepting it, and now you're starting to see more about eating real foods and superfoods and all that kind of stuff. And so it's just been such a journey watching how the media has handled this whole food revolution that we're in. And
thank goodness.
I know.
Finally, it's like, let's just eat some real food.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's amazing that one little tweak that you did with your client. She lost 5 pounds in just a week, instead of eating all the processed stuff.
Right.
She ate real food. And you helped her do that.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
I know.
Yay.
I know. It was such an exciting period,
Awesome. So amazing. I love your story. I love your miraculous client story. That's so amazing. Amazing transformations for you and your clients. So, out of all of the amazing things that you do, what are 3 tips that you can share with others?
Sure. The first one, I think, would be to really know yourself. There's so much information. There's so much that you can do to heal. There's no point in trying to fit something into your life that doesn't work for you. So, for example, getting up at 5 a.m. to work out when you're not a morning person, it just doesn't work. It's not going to set you up for success. So just really understanding who you are as a person and knowing what really fits into your life, so that way you can have these changes and make these changes and really see results and be able to stick with something for a longer period of time. So just really knowing who you are and what you like and what you enjoy is a big part of getting better and for all around wellness.
That makes total sense. Because I'm not a morning person, so even though I want to get more done, I'm just the whole morning thing. It's not happening.
I know. I'm struggling with it right now. Like, I'm a morning person, and I like working out in the morning. And then I've been, at 6 o'clock for yoga. I've been like dragging my feet to get there, and I'm just, it's starting to click now that maybe this doesn't work, and I need to find a morning yoga class. But instead of giving up on yoga, fitting it into what works for me.
Yeah, that's a great tip. And just knowing yourself and knowing whether you are like a cold turkey person or just a take it slow person?
Yeah, exactly.
Just go what works with you.
Yeah. And for anyone that doesn't know who they are or what kind of person they are, Gretchen Rubin has a great book called Better Than Before?
Better Than Before?
Yeah, Better Than Before. And she goes through these 4 different personality types. I believe it's 4, it might be more. But basically, you learn all about these personality types and you can find out where you fall on the spectrum of it. And you can start adjusting your life and your routine and things that you enjoy doing to kind of fit your personality.
Nice.
Yeah.
I need to look into that.
Oh, yeah.
Gretchen Rubin.
I might have it for you to borrow.
Nice. Thanks.
I'll check.
And what's your personality type?
I'm an upholder. That means that if I tell myself that I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it because I uphold to myself. But then there's a personality type that they need outside support and motivation, and if they tell someone else that they're going to do it, they're going to do it, but they won't do it for themselves. So that alone, just knowing if you're an upholder or not can be a huge game changer for you. You know, so if you're not an upholder and you really need someone to help you put things into place, you get an accountability partner.
Yeah.
And that alone could help you make really big changes in your life. You know, getting an accountability partner to go to the gym with you or to even just text you to ask you if you went to the gym. You don't want to disappoint that person. So you'll most likely be doing that. So
That's
just
awesome.
knowing who you are.
Yeah. Great tip.
Yes, I love that one.
Yeah. So know yourself, number 1.
Know yourself.
What's number 2?
My number 2 tip has to it kind of works with acne and overall health, and that's just really taking care of your digestive system and your digestive health. Like I shared in my story, a big part of my problem was being malnourished and not taking care of my digestive system, which led to my acne. So I would just say supporting that with a probiotic and fermented foods, that's just huge. It's something that, we don't really know that much about and that we don't really talk that much about. But kombucha is delicious. Miso soup is amazing.
Yeah.
And, probiotics are really easy to take every day. And, there's just so much that you can do and eat to support your digestive system.
Yeah, I agree. I'm all about the fermented stuff. And kombucha does taste amazing.
Delicious.
And kimchi.
Oh, I'm obsessed with kimchi.
Yeah. Even like kimchi pancakes.
Ooh, I've never had a kimchi pancake.
Those are delicious. You can make them at home, like gluten-free. Use rice flour.
Okay, I'm gonna need that recipe.
Yeah,
because I have a jar of kimchi in the fridge, so I'm gonna need that.
Yeah, so I love that tip because, like, on the inside, your gut could be a mess, and that could be showing all of the distress on the outside.
Yeah.
So I love that you take like an inside-out approach.
Yeah, like I tell my clients, your skin is basically a mirror to what's going on inside of your body. And so eczema, psoriasis, acne, all of those things are basically just your body's way of telling you that something is going on deeper inside your body. And we can keep going with these Band-Aid approaches where we have a topical cream that works until we stop using it, or we can really address the root cause. And for so many illnesses, that starts in your digestive system.
I hear you. That was a big key for me, was avoiding all of those foods that are causing inflammation and adding in more foods that are fermented that add the healthy bacteria to our gut, so it can boost our immune system, boost our gut health, so then our skin gets better too.
Yeah, and like that's a huge thing is inflammation, and so just eliminating those key inflammatory foods, which are so widespread over the American diet, and really nourishing it with the fermented foods and the probiotics and the healthy bacteria. So those two kind of go hand in hand with eliminating the inflammatory foods.
Yeah. What are your big foods that you avoid with the inflammation?
Yeah, so dairy is a big one. I try not to be super strict about it, and I try to tell my clients, as you go, like it's a process, So if you have it one day, don't beat yourself up over it, but just kind of see how your skin reacts with it. And that's kind of the approach that I take in my own life. I don't seek it out, but if it's there and I do want it, I do enjoy it. But it's something that for the most part I do avoid. Gluten, soy, I know we talk about miso, but miso is fermented, and so it's a little bit different than other forms of soy. Alcohol, it's a big one. So those are kind of my top ones.
And so would you say if you do have those, or if your clients do have those, you say maybe like quality over quantity?
Yes. So especially for soy, organic is a must, I would say. But yeah, quality over quantity for that. You know, if you know, the other night we went out and I said if there was cheese there and it's at a really well-known place and it's going to be like really high quality cheese, I'm gonna enjoy that. I'm not going to overindulge in it, but to enjoy that little piece and then just get right back on track the next day or your next meal. So just don't overindulge in it and don't make it a consistent thing. Don't think because you had it for breakfast that, oh, well, the day's shot anyway. No, you know, the day's not shot. You know, your next meal, you can make such a difference.
Right on. Yeah. That makes total sense. Yeah. Quality food, avoiding those inflammatory foods, and knowing yourself, not beating yourself up about it. And also everybody's different. So what one thing might be good for another, it might be bad for another. It's just, it depends. So I like that.
And that's why I tell my clients not to beat themselves up over it, because it's also a learning experience. So if you have gluten and you don't feel well and then you break out, like, it's a pretty good sign, and that might be reason enough and motivation enough to avoid it.
Exactly.
But it also might not be a sensitivity to you. It might not cause inflammation. So there's a balance. And I think that, you know, like you said, everyone's different.
Good. So then, what is your number 3 tip?
Okay, this one I love talking about because it's really glamorous, or the most glamorous of all the tips, and that is just non-toxic and clean skincare and beauty care. And it's something that I am so passionate about. And when I was wearing makeup years ago, I was wearing drugstore brand makeup or, you know, department store makeup, but they had all these products and these chemicals in them, like a ton of nasties. Things I would avoid 100% today, but I didn't know any better. And I also had this routine built where I was afraid to step out of that box, and so switching over was really scary. And so I know that it's really scary for a lot of people. So I want to talk about a couple of my favorite products. And, you know, just, again, I eased into it because I knew that I was going to be stressed out about it, and stress, you know, can create more acne. And so easing into it, testing out products on your face in like little small patches, not overwhelming your skin with so many changes all at once is a great way to test out some new products.
That is a good idea.
So just, you know, take it slow with this for sure. It's not a race to clear out your makeup bag or, you know, your medicine cabinet. It's just kind of finding the products that work for you. And I did go through a lot of trial and error. I tried a bunch of different products. Some of them were great, some of them not so great. And now I have like my core products. So
that's awesome.
I'm going to start with how I start every day, my cleanser. And it's by SW Basics. And literally 3 ingredients: rose water, glycerin, and tea tree oil. And it's really clean. And it doesn't suds up or foam up. And that was something I had to get used to. But, you know, it really changed the way my skin looked. I will tell you a funny story. The first time I used it, the next day I went to work and I was like, look at my pores. I'm like, they're smaller, right? And my friends were like, actually they are. And I was like, I know, I wasn't imagining it. This stuff is magic.
I need to get some of that stuff. That's amazing. Wow. Where did you get this?
I bought it online. They're actually based out of Brooklyn, so pretty nearby for us. And
that's amazing.
Urban Outfitters actually sells it too.
Oh, cool.
So I love SW Basics. All of their products I really love, and this is a serum. So I was scared of oil for the longest time. But I have to say, again, it's 4 ingredients: avocado oil, geranium, turmeric, and coffee oils. So it's just so clean and pure. And I've been mixing, a little tip, I've been mixing a little bit of my probiotic capsule in with my serum and just kind of seeing how it works out, and it's been great for me.
Nice. So the SW Basics, you just like take like
just a
3 or 4 drops?
Or 1 drop? It depends on how I'm feeling. If I'm going to sleep, I use a little bit more. During the day, I just use a little bit, as much as you need to just cover your face, like a really thin coat. So it's a great product.
Awesome.
And then this one actually comes from my pantry.
Nice.
Apple cider vinegar. You can make your own toner. SW Basics has a great one as well, but I've been just mixing some ACV in with a little bit of water on a cotton ball, and it's been a life-changing toner for me. So it's inexpensive. You can pick it up at any grocery store really now. It's become so popular, and again, you can use it to cook with. It's multifunctional here. And
that's
so,
amazing.
Yeah, it's something that I'm really in love with these days.
So you just put that on a cotton ball and then...
With a little bit of water, I actually make a little mixture into my own little bottle.
Very nice.
And just keep it in the bathroom and just,
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's such an
DIY.
easy tip.
So
and
easy.
All of those things, like, they're so simple and easy and affordable.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And it's like a local brand and a small brand, so you can, and it's a woman, and I love supporting small business women, and
of course,
it's just a great mission all around.
Yeah.
And then and then makeup.
Okay.
Because that's like the best part, right? Well People. Oh, I am brand loyal, so I have to say that I did so much research too. Before I bought it, I was literally on every beauty site, makeup site, Googling Well People Acne, just trying to see if anyone had any response and some feedback on it. But what's great about Well People is you don't have to commit to the whole thing. They do sample sizes, so if you're a little nervous. But again, it's really clean. I think the base is coconut oil.
Nice.
And it's a stick, and it's just...
Oh, that's really cool. So it's like a foundation.
It's a foundation, and it's really light, but you can layer it up. I've never had a foundation that can cover dark circles, and this one is great with it. I don't have to use a concealer under my eyes anymore. Nice. It's super versatile. Throw it in your bag and go. And again, it's women supporting women, and I just love the mission of the brand.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah,
I need to try that too.
Yes, you do.
Yay! Yeah. New products for everyone.
Yes, they're awesome. I'm telling you.
I love that. Great tip.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, beauty products are so much fun, and Well People, actually, I think she worked for NARS, so she's got a lot of fun stuff and some really pretty colors, and they're always coming out with new products, so it's a good brand to keep your eye on.
Nice. Thank you so much for sharing.
Of course, yes.
Any more?
I think that's it.
Okay. Okay. So awesome. I love all of those. I think those are great tips to help reduce pore size, you said, and to also clean up acne.
Yes.
And also to implement some healthy bacteria for our skin.
Yes.
Which, back in the day, I would have been like, what? Right? Bacteria on our skin? That doesn't even make sense. Yeah. But it's our first line of defense. And if we have the bad stuff, then the good stuff doesn't stand a chance. So I love that you have all of those things that benefit the good bacteria on our skin. So it helps us have an amazing face.
Yeah, it gives you such a glow. Like, the probiotic in the oil, I have to say, I started using it when I came back from vacation and got a stomach bug, and just not being able to nourish my body, my skin, you can see it in my skin, and so that's when I started doing the probiotic powder in my oil. Oh, nice. And I'm just saying, like, the glow, it's just
huge difference. Like in
just a couple of days.
A day or two.
That's awesome. It was like 2 days. I think I saw a difference.
Nice. I should try that too. I've never done that before.
Yeah. It's a good one.
Awesome.
Yeah, because now there will be products. There are products with probiotic and bacteria for acne care. But I like this because you're putting into products that you already know and that you already trust and that you don't react to instead of trying a new product altogether. So this is an easy way to just incorporate that into products that that work for you.
Yeah, that's amazing. I love the multifunctional aspect of it.
I think it has to be, Yeah. So that's what I really and also DIY skincare is just so much fun because you could pull a bottle of apple cider vinegar out of your pantry and you can have some really great skin stuff going on there.
Yeah, that's magical. I love it.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Well, thank you so much for sharing your story, your most miraculous client story, and all of your great tips.
Thank you so much for having me. Yeah. It's been so much fun.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. You. And I'll have the link for Lisa's website on the show notes so you can check her out.
Yes.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Bye.